of the Vagos, which is actually one of my colleagues now, since we are now at the same rank. And they pretty much told me, you have to shoot a cop, you have to kill a cop, or you have to kill somebody of high power in order to get this rank that you want. Which, I don't want this rank. It was just kind of, forced on me. And they told me that if I didn't do that, that they were going to kill me and let every gang in the city know everything about me and where I live and, pretty much everything I do. And pretty much I'd be literally fucked if I didn't do that. So it was either me fuck over myself or, shoot at a cop, hope that they live and we can both tell the same story type of thing. And that's the only reason why I shot at the cop. And I can tell you right now, I regret it. I did not want to shoot at the cop. It was not my choice. It was either me shoot him or me get shot. And unfortunately, I chose him over me because, it's human nature to value your own life before others. And that's where it came down to. But I do have more information about the gang if you are interested. Let me just sit my ass back down again. But that's pretty much my reasoning, and why I didn't contact you was also because they were catching on to me, because they found it suspicious that I was in prison for 5 days spiritually, and they were wondering why I just all of a sudden got released. And I told them, I had killed, I gave them a false, reason. I was like, I killed like several cops. I did all of this, blah, blah, blah. And they believed it to an extent. And the only way I could get them to believe that I wasn't, snitching on them or anything was to not contact you guys. And I mean, like, I could have, gone to the restroom and contacted you, or like gone to like a hidden room, contacted you, but I was literally being tracked at all times. I couldn't go anywhere without one of the members of the Vagos with me. And they forced me to stay in a radio with them at all times and to, relay any information that was going on. And so that's my reasoning and why I didn't contact you or anybody, here. Which I know it did suck, and I'm sorry for that. But that's my reasoning behind that. But I do have a lot of information about them that, can at least get them close to, getting locked away, or at least, the right path towards it. But I do understand if you do not want to, continue with our agreement or anything. I was just, trying to do what's best for us. So you want to know all the information about them? Okay. So we have 2 new members, which I think I have told you about this, that had joined our gang. One of them, his first name is Frank, his last name is Hot Dog, and I promise I'm not kidding, his last name is literally fucking Hot Dog. He is our supplier of heroin. He knows how to make heroin. He knows where it's at. None of the Vagos knows where it's at or anything. Only him and his partner does. And so there's also, they give me one MP5, but they also have another MP5 in Eli King's residence has another MP5, as well as a 50 cal sniper that is in there. We also had a meeting with the Ballas a few days ago, and they gave us an offer that they would wash any sort of money for us, and that they would only take 10% of our, cut of any money that we take from like banks or anything. And I figured out the names of the people in the Vagos, at least the main people. It's Jermaine Clark, Chelino Sanchez. Chelino's the leader. Jermaine is like second in hand. They were trying to sell us bricks of heroin today, actually, like literally 20 minutes before what happened. And we had a meeting with them. We denied all of that. We told them that we didn't want to buy bricks from them since, we have our own suppliers within our own gang. And while I was there, we were pretty much just having a meeting about, tagging each other's blocks with like our emblems and all that. And they had tagged our block. I was told by my superiors to tag their block, and that kind of almost started a war between our two gangs. But we had a meeting about that, got us situated. So like we're on good terms with them as of right now. Um, but their plan was originally to supply us 40 bricks of heroin a week, which would have been around 400,000 to $700,000 a week that we would pay to get those 40 bricks of heroin. Um, I had some heroin of theirs in my custody because I was told by my superiors that if I didn't sell any of it, that I would be demoted and if not even terminated from the gang. And that's not a good thing for me or for you guys since I wanted to feed you guys more information as much as I can. Um, but all of the heroin I sold was like 150 grams. I made about 50K off of it. Gave Eli about a little bit of a cut of it. The rest was all mine since I was the one that sold it. Um, but they used to hide all of their drugs in a Speedo that was down at Davis. But as of recently, they had moved it, like yesterday, I think. And I wasn't aware of it because I was not in city at that time. But if I was still with them right now, I could probably figure that out very quickly since I am one of their leaders, or one of their high-ranking people within the government, or not the government, one of the gangs. So like I pretty much know a lot now, and like I have a lot more access towards everything. Like I know where we get our weapon barrels, our springs at. I know the locations for that. One of our members knows the locations to make the guns, but they haven't told me yet. But I could probably find it out, very easily. But that is pretty much, all I have as of right now. But there's a lot more to go with. But a lot of it I'm kind of in the dark of because they don't it's not that they don't trust me, they just haven't, gotten around with telling me everything yet because I'm one of their most recent members as an OG. Which we have more members that are like newer than me, but like I'm one of their most recent, high ranking members. And my goal was to, gain their trust, and by gaining their trust was to, get the initiation by shooting one of your officers or by, blowing up one of their vehicles. And blowing up their vehicle didn't go through. So I kind of just had to, just go with what I had to do. But I do regret it, and I don't, I didn't want to harm any of your officers. It wasn't my choice or anything. I quite literally had a gun pointed at me because if I didn't do that, they told me that they would kill me or that they would terminate me from the gang. And so that's pretty much all I have as of right now. His apartment is at the Vagos block. So that would be like Jamestown and Carson Avenue at that intersection. And that's where mostly all of our members' apartments, as well as Vincent Gotti's, was. Um, shit, I can't check right now. I'm cuffed. It's about, so you know where the Vagos territory is, right? Where all of like the yellow vehicles and all that are parked at. So it's in that vicinity. So when you first pull up to their parking lot, there is yellow vehicles in the main parking lot in the middle. To the left, you can cut through a yard, and there's like different entrances to different apartments. Um, to the far left is, I would say, building 1, and then there's a second building, building 2, and then the far straight is building 3. Building 2, that's where all of our apartments is usually at, which like I could show you guys that when like none of them are, around or anything. But Eli's, I think, is the second or third door on that third building, and then Vincent's was the first building, which he was the one that supplied me with the MP5. Yeah. Also, I actually have more information about that. Don Gotti, which do you know who that guy is? Okay, so he was recently a Pell Rider, which he is still at this moment, but there is currently a falling out with the Pell Riders, and he plans on moving from the Pell Riders to the Vagos within 2 weeks. And he's going to be given the OG member role within the Discordia as soon as he joins, and will be a OG within the gang as soon as he is initiated in, which I mean won't take long since he is the brother of Vincent Gotti, as well as the I can't remember what he is, but there's another guy in our gang called John Gotti, that is friends, which is the affiliate of Frank Hot Dog, the one that makes the heroin. John Gotti helps him with that, and he is also related to Don and Vincent. And like, the only reason why I didn't ever contact you was because of those reasons, because they were catching on to me and they were getting a little, suspicious of everything. And I didn't want to blow my cover because one, if I blew my cover, I'd be dead right now. And two, I wouldn't have any information valuable enough for you guys to, take or anything or use against them. So it's kind of just a flip of a coin type of thing. The what? Um, Let me try to think real quick. I know the guy that works at Bean Machine, that is Tommy Thomerson. He is one of the OGs in our gang. He is there. I also have this is something I want to talk to you in private, unless they're, because I'm pretty sure there's officers behind that window behind you. And are you 100% sure about that? Because this could incriminate one of your officers. Okay. So I was told. Okay. Okay. So I was told one of your recent cadets, Nathan Freeman, he was an OG in the Vagos, which is one of the leaders. He had left us to join you guys, which had then, promoted me up to his rank where he was at. I took his spot. But he had told us the locations of where you can find the weapon springs and all of that, which I could show you those locations, where you could find the weapon bricks, the weapon barrels for like SMGs, pistols. He had told us where that was before he had joined you guys, like literally the same day. And then he had told us that he was going to give us a slide or a free get out of jail card anytime he sees us around any other officers and all that. Um, he gave us, like how many mats we need in order to make certain weapons. Pretty much gave us the whole rundown before he joined you guys. On top of that, we also have a officer within your department that is on our side. His name is something Leon Price or something like that. He had given us ammo from your armory. He's given us information. I was told by one of my leaders that he had actually taken off the ankle monitor on me. I don't know if that's true or anything, but that he had attempted, or it actually went through with working. That he had taken off the ankle monitor, and he's pretty much one of our inside guys within your department. And then there was Rich Rogers, he also allowed me to go free after I caught another person's vehicle on fire the other day, actually. That was um, not part of an initiation, but it was more of like, if I didn't do it, they would have looked at me differently within the gang and wouldn't have seen me strong enough to be an OG. And so I kind of just had to do that, which I actually got in a chase with him and some other people, and he let me go. But he pretty much lets he's friends with a lot of the Vagos and lets us go, free on certain things and all that. Um, he was at Rav's the other day, and I was there working, and I had even like punched him, like fucking with him and shit, and rammed his vehicle and everything, and he put me in cuffs and told me I was under arrest, and then after a second he was like, you know what, I'm just gonna let you go. Like, you're one of my buds, I'm just gonna let you go. And I was like, okay. He was like, just stop fucking around and shit. Rich Rogers and Leonu Price, I don't know his full name, but them two are affiliates with our gang, as well as Nathan Freeman. He doesn't rep our gang anymore, Nathan doesn't, but he does still, hang around us and, helps us out in a certain way. But by pretty much, just being lenient towards us more, so favoring us more towards, like say I was arrested for battering an officer and a normal civilian was arrested for the same thing, he'd let me go and arrest the other person, type of thing. That's pretty much all I know of. I'm not sure if there's any other officers, but I do know that those are the main three that we have been, talking and affiliating with. But that's pretty much all I know. Um, I don't have any proof as of right now, but I'm pretty sure I can find proof very quickly. If I am given a body cam or anything, then I could easily, get that. But I know Nathan, Nathan, and I'm trying to think who was riding with him yesterday. I can't remember if it was Leroy or Rick. They let us go on, Eli had shot at our residence in our block, and they had let him go and didn't care or anything. They just drove off after talking to us. Even after finding drugs on them, and a GSR test came back positive. They let him go, and then Leon Price, he was actually in multiple pursuits with me before I became your CI. He used to go fishing with me by the pier, the Del Perro pier. And I don't know if you remember this. I don't know if you were part of this. Your officers might. He was on a motorcycle by the pier, and I was on it with him, and we were running from the police. I think I had shot at them. I can't remember, but they ended up catching me, and he was able to be freed. But I had jumped into the water and drowned. But he was with us at the time, off duty. And then I'm trying to think of the other guy right now. Rich. It's not that he does anything more corrupt, but it's more of like he favors more towards us, towards anybody else. So like, he pretty much just, I guess the same as Nathan, where like they still do their job, but when it comes down to any of the Vagos, they are as lenient as they can possible with us. Since Nathan was one of our main gang members, and then Rich was I can't remember if he was one of our buds or something, or if he was in a gang before he had joined you guys. I'm not too sure. But that is pretty much all the information I have. Unfortunately, I don't have a body cam, but if you guys supply me with one, I can easily, use that and try to get you guys some evidence on your officers and all that. But Price, I haven't seen him around for the past few days. I don't know what's up with him. I don't know if you know who that is, because a lot of your officers don't know who that is. Okay. Yeah, he's got an accent just like you and everything. And I mean, he's a cool guy, but he doesn't follow through with protecting and serving. It's more of just serving the people he wants. That should be everything I have as of right now. I just